Hello there, my name is Prasanjit, and in this video we'll be covering how to use Duet AI assistance to set up a GKE Autopilot cluster and deploy a web application on the top of it. So let's get started and see how Duet AI helps us. So first of all, on the console, we'll open up the Cloud Shell, and there we will be activating the Cloud Companion API, which will help us to install the Duet extension and get it working. So we open the Cloud Shell and we start with multiple commands, one of them being setting up the correct project ID and the region and all that is required. So I'm using a Quick Labs environment, and the second command helps you to start the API and get it activated. And then with this command, Google Cloud Projects, we set up the required roles for setting up the Cloud Companion API or the Duet AI assistance. So now once these things are done, here also you can enable it through a graphical mode and get the Cloud Companion API started. So here we see we have the Duet chat enabled, and we can use it for getting assistance for cloud related stuff. So here I write a prompt: how can I run Kubernetes on Google Cloud without having to own the management of nodes and control plane, which means I'm looking for something like GKE Autopilot, which is autonomous and helps me to not consider working on the control plane side and just focus on the data plane. Now in the next prompt I write, how do I create a GKE Autopilot cluster, and here I get a descriptive response on what are the steps to do it, and how to get the autopilot configured, and if I want to use the CLI mode, what would be the gcloud command to get the autopilot cluster spun up. So very descriptive, and it is just a matter of filling out the variables and getting the command run on the Cloud Shell to get my cluster up. So as simple as that. I can move ahead and ask some follow-up questions. For example, what is the command to create a GKE Autopilot cluster, and if my current project name is so and so, and if my current region name is so and so, what would be the exact command. So I'm mentioning the project name Duet AI Demo and the region as US Central 1. So it gives me the command with the exact variables populated. So I can copy this command right into the Cloud Shell by clicking there, and executing the command will lead to creation of a GKE Autopilot cluster. So isn't that simple? Now this will take a couple of minutes, and we'll fast forward to completion in a while. And Duet, as you have seen, has helped us creating the cluster very easily, even if we were not aware of the gcloud commands that could help us do that. So very simple and useful when you have a Duet Cloud Companion alongside, and it will really help you not only to deploy your cluster, but also when deploying your applications on the top of it, when troubleshooting, or in your day-to-day operations. So we are getting close to having the cluster spun up. As you can see, the cluster is being health checked, and the master is already healthy, and it is spinning up the worker nodes there. Let's wait for a couple of minutes, and then we'll have the cluster ready and move ahead. So here we have the Duet AI Demo cluster ready on the US Central 1 region, and we are good to go. So let's move on to Kubernetes engine and have a look at our running cluster. So let me minimize this one. Alright, so here we have the Duet AI demo cluster. Status is healthy and it's running, and it's a GKE Autopilot cluster. And here you can see storage, observability, all the things that come along with GKE Autopilot clusters. And here you can see the logs, and we can even use Duet AI in order to query some more questions as well. For example, what is the kubectl command to create a deployment called hello server for the image name hello app? So if you provide that, you get a ready-made kubectl command to create that deployment and deploy a hello app on your cluster. So that's what we are going to do exactly. So we have the command here and the description about what it does. So directly if I plug that command into the Cloud Shell and execute it, it will pull that image and create a deployment called hello server, which it has done. Now I'll go on and ask what is the kubectl command to expose this deployment on port 80 and target port 8080 with a load balancer. So it tells me, okay, this is the command where you can expose your hello server deployment so that it is accessible from the outside world, and the syntax to tag along a load balancer as well. So executing this command will expose our port, and it has done just that. Now as a next step, we can go ahead and ask Duet AI, where can we access this application? What is the external IP to expose this deployment? So it gives me another kubectl command to do that, and once I take that command into the Cloud Shell and execute it, I get the cluster IP. So if I put that cluster IP here, and here we have the hello world application running on the cluster IP, which is an external IP which was given. So that is all about this demo. I hope you learned something out of it. Thank you.